So Civilization 7 came out, and a little bit to my surprise, I thought more people would like it, but I think it kind of follows the thing I've seen. Like a lot of existing franchises have tried to sort of say, let's do something different, right? And I've been playing Orcs Must Die, and Orcs Must Die is very much in the same boat as Civ 7. Mixed reviews, despite I'm enjoying it, but it is a total departure from the original formula. And that is the criticism you see in the Steam reviews, right? And Civ 7 seems to be the same. And Antoine, do you want to tell us what's the difference between Civ 7 and Civ 6 and why is it so different? Because I could definitely not explain that.
I'm gonna tell you why I'm not gonna play. Because for me, I always played Civilization as, and it's the same from Civ 1 to Civ 6. Yeah, exactly, to Civ 6. That you start with a civilization with an undying immortal leader, right? Like for the French, it has been Bonaparte or whatever, right? You know all of your leaders. And that's it. You have one nation you identify with. You have one hero or leader that has a very specific way to play, whether it is business, religion, culture, war, science, and usually you adapt your gameplay to the rest and how you want to play, what makes you have fun in Civilization. That's really what works. And in this Civ 7, there's one thing which I really hate very, very much is you can choose your leader even if it's not related to the nation you start with. For instance, I was watching some YouTuber, and honestly, I can't remember his name. I'm very sorry about this, but a guy who plays Civilization as his main YouTube channel, right? And he got the key in advance, and he was playing. So he took General Lafayette, so a Frenchman, right, with starting Civilization, the Romans, end of the first age. I think there's only 3 age compared to the 7 or 8 you had before. End of the first age, you can carry over civics or perks from your civilization into the next age, because the big thing is that first age you were playing the Romans, it's finished, you have to switch to another civilization. So it would make. I think they have this thing where you can start with, I don't know, maybe the Egyptian would become the Greek, which becomes the Romans, which historically makes sense. But in this case, the guy was really playing with stats in mind, like an Excel file, right? So he was saying, I need to take Lafayette because he has this bonus, which works super well with the Romans. And at the end of first age, basically, his Roman legion had more powers than a modern era tank, just to tell you how good this guy was, right? And after this, he moved on to, I think, Mongolians, or really civilization which has nothing to do with each other. And that, for me, is exactly the same as when you're looking at a movie and some element of the movie completely to take you out of it. For me, it doesn't work at all. I don't know about the gameplay. I'm sure the visuals are amazing. The gameplay must be amazing. I'm sure a lot of things must be amazing. But for me, just this statement, the base of this civilization, just doesn't work for me, which is why I'm not going to play it. As well as remembering that's a truth for every civilization game on the franchise. It never does well at first because you know that a civilization is gonna release civilization packs at $6, $7, $10 a pack, right? It's gonna release 20 of them and it's gonna cash grab on this. After some time, they're gonna release scenarios to have fun, to have less of a sandboxy game. You're gonna have specific scenarios to play, and in 2 years, you're gonna have some DLC, which gonna add some much needed. Usually, it's very much needed gameplay gimmicks, let's say, which is why like you always have to wait a couple of years before the first DLC come in, and then it starts getting good because also you start getting deals. You can get the base game with DLC at X% off, things like this. So myself, I would never play a Civilization game right on the start, because like the previous one are much still very fun to play, and you can still buy cheaper packs and cheaper scenario and things like this on the previous Civ. So that's what I would recommend. But yeah, for me, so that's my take on this one. I just don't like the base thing that they did with this game. I understand, as you said, that they need to reinvent themselves. For me, that's not the way to do it. Like it's a big jigsaw, and you can put the puzzle pieces everywhere you want. And I don't like this because it's sandboxy enough. You don't have to mix your civilization together, especially when they have nothing to do with each other. So again, that's something that I recall from when I watched and I prepared this story 3 to 4 months ago, something like this. So if you have played Civ 7 and you liked it and I'm completely out of the mark, please tell me, because I really like this franchise. It's like Total War, right? I really like the franchise and I don't want to hate it. But this base setting, I just can't agree with. And I'm not, and so many games to play, and it's still a $90 game, something like this, right? In Canadian. So no, thank you. No, thank you very much. But if you can convince me, hey, here's a challenge, right? Super big challenge. Challenge is try to make me want to play it. Tough challenge. I'm telling you that right off the bat, I don't want to. So if you can make it, I don't know, I don't have any reward in mind, but if you can make me buy the game, you can consider yourself a very, very good politician because you would come from very far.